Hello, Internet. It is time to get started. Hello. And, I sort of missed last week because I moved. So I've been kind of busy. But, there's been two new, score attacks that have come out in the last 2 weeks since I've been able to stream. So I wanted to go over those here today. And with the New Year's and holiday, all of that stuff, I've got a bunch of keys to roll here shortly. So, gonna start off just doing my daily raids, get that going while we see if some people show up. Gonna go ahead and start off with just the one that I know that I can solo clear, the rank 12. I've gone over this one on stream before. This is not the first time we have seen this boss. So this is my team that I've got for this one. Basically, let's pump Madokami as hard as we can, who is an A0 on this account. I just have the base Madokami, no ascensions. But you give your team some crit chance, you give her some double actions, you're going to have a strong time, as long as your enemy is weak to light. That's mainly what we're exploiting here. Yes, if I were to control this in manual and have my first activations go to the Breaker Madoka, might be a little bit faster, might be a little bit better. This still solo clears anyway, just on auto with this setup. Plus, Madokami being attacking more does get more healing in, which actually does help out a little bit in the higher end difficulties for this. As you may have seen as I was going into this, the one that it wanted to default it to for me is rank 17. So this team, or at least a previous iteration of it, I only imagine it's gotten stronger since then, has been able to hold its own pretty well in rank 16s. Within that, occasionally Madokami would get taken out of the battle just before the first break would happen, in which case would have a low scoring bad time. But a lot of the time, she would actually be able to push through. She would usually get taken out of the fight in like the last couple of actions that happen just before the turns are about to expire. No big deal. But yeah, on 16s I was able to put in enough to get to like 50% of the fight, I think. To the point where I was doing that regularly, and somebody else from my union, who was also able to put in about half of the battle or more, to just clear it out between the two of us. My new roommate just stepped in. Got a cat in my living space now, so she'll be going just around that door behind me from time to time. And she might come over and yowl at me for some pets at some point. Yeah, the Classic Broken Team, I do think on the previous iteration of this, I wasn't running Tsuruno. I think I was running Moimura instead. I need to go back through my own VODs now to remember how to do things. But yeah, the combo is what I called it. The Madoka, Madokami, Moimura, Mabayu, Mami. And that's my go-to strong combo. But Moimura is off element on this one. So that might have been a difficulty with the very minor sustain that this team has, which is just the two Modikas, which is not great sustain. Especially on the higher difficulties. But it is enough, and I do have her EX equipped, which is not considered optimal from the discussions that I've seen online, but it's just enough sustain here that on the higher difficulties, Madookami winds up getting clear through to the break phase and everything with just like a couple hundred health left, which means it's making a critical difference. So I am so hesitant to take away that EX because it is keeping her alive here. And you see, like, each time she hits... Okay, that was, like, almost 900 there, but the previous one, when she doesn't have the full charge on that, was only, like, 300 healing. So when she's only surviving by, like, 300 to 600, I'm guessing that extra little bit of healing from the EX is making a difference. And that, here in just another turn, yep, there we go. That is a completely soloed rank 12 boss right now. Using, of course, the limited availability, but currently available, I think still currently available, Madookami unit. She's strong. If you can, I would recommend getting at least just the base her. Again, I don't have any ascensions, but as you can see, without ascensions at all, she's strong. And there are certain problems that you can just point her at and solve. So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, I haven't run this team on a 16 yet. We're gonna go ahead and risk this because okay. All right, we're gonna do one more just because we're getting towards the end of the day and I haven't done these yet. So we're gonna do this and we'll do a higher difficulty later in the hopes that somebody joins on. But as of right now, looking at my count of things, looks like I'm still just gonna fill a little bit of time waiting for more people to show up here. So, continuing to farm this raid. I've got like, so I think I have 2 guaranteed 5-star pulls, 6 guaranteed 4-star pulls, and then 40 plus regular keys on top of the daily free pull, which is just a 1 pull right now. So yeah, I've got a whole lot of gacha pulling to do here a little bit later, as well as working on the score attack teams for both of the last 2 events, since I did not get to stream last weekend. This is there is a little bit of variance in how the battle will play out. There's a few bits of RNG. Crit RNG is going to be one of them, which will make a few different differences for this team, not just in the rate at which that... oh! Hello, Ray Ray. Good morning. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. I hope you are doing well. I have been tired. I have been very busy and very tired, but doing very well. As you might be able to tell, I've moved. So that's why I've been so busy and tired. I'm still working on a bunch of things with that, and getting the old place ready to sell and whatnot is going to be my next couple of weeks. You're doing good. That is wonderful to hear. Yeah, I was not able to stream last weekend because I was doing a lot of work on a lot of things in order to get this move happening. But I'm in a good place here now, and going to be a wild ride for the next 6 months of my life. Let's just say that now. But various things are in motion, so a lot of good things on the horizon, and things should get more stable soon. So I'm hoping to stream not just more Exedra, but a lot more of everything. I did have that one Path of Exile stream that I did a couple weeks ago, and then got very, very busy. I had planned to stream more of that, but that also wound up being a big learning curve for me. So I'm in endgame with that character now. I do want to stream some of that at some point once I have some time, just have not for a little bit. I haven't even had the time to just play games recreationally for the last couple days. I've just been asleep when I have free time, basically. But yeah, the two new score attacks I have gotten clears on rank 50 with auto play teams on both of those. One of those, the more recent one, I had to put that together this morning, just because I've been busy. Usually I try to work on it, get it ready Saturday during the day, if not by Friday night. But managed to throw something at it this morning that worked. I will say, in the last couple weeks, I've gotten the Eternal Sakura character. Just trying to think of her name. Yeah. Eternal Sakura, I managed to pull, and then for the free Christmas character, I picked the Glitterjoy Snow Globe, just partially based off of, I mean, part of it I already have a 5-star Ren, part of it I would prefer what Rika does and everything, but Glitterjoy Snow Globe just sounds like a move I'd write. Rika's adorable, I love her, and I absolutely agree with the sentiment of Glitterjoy. My Christmas pulls, I got Eternal Sakura. I also got the base Kyoko unit. Finally, I had not had her yet. Really weird early edition character to pick up so late, especially when I have like Ascension 4 Mommy, Ascension 5 of a bunch of other characters. But finally picked her up. I haven't really used any of those characters yet for anything. I did wind up making a little bit of time to get through some more of the tower while it was still available. I wound up getting to floor 69, I think, and all of that was just doing auto battle stuff, pretty much. Just make a team on element and just send it at it while I was working on other things, and then I didn't really have the time to try and actively push past there, but I'm going to try and do that next time tower comes around. So now that I've got an actual audience, let's see how today's polls are going to go, because I have saved up the keys for like the last week and everything. So I've got my daily poll, I've got 40 regular key polls to do, I've got 2 guaranteed 5 stars from shards, I believe. So let's see if we get anything else exciting today. That looks a lot like a lot of the free polls that I've had lately. Blue door. have you gotten anything exciting out of the free polls in the last couple weeks? I'm eternally hoping for my next ascension to Moemura so I can get the 4-star ascension for her. Really want that. As always, I'm going to go ahead and click through these because there can always be one that shifts to gold at the last moment. Nothing that one, but we got a couple more ready to go. Yeah, and as well, did you, on top of any polls you may have gotten in the last couple weeks, who'd you pick for your Christmas character? The free Rika or Ren? The free, one free Christmas lesbian, as it were. A lot of cool characters, but all things that I have fully ascended, of course. Purple door, that's an improvement. No evident golds yet. Just keep on clicking. One more of these 10 pulls to go. Then we improve our odds a little bit. Mel? I forgot about Mel. Honestly, I had not seen her yet. Smell, that's awesome. Matokami, fantastic. Fantastic get. Glad you could get that while she was available again. Very strong unit. Alina, very strong. Mabayu, very strong. A5 Moemura, which is your first A5. Fantastic first A5. Like I said, I have been hoping each time I pull for my 4th ascension. Yeah, you got some really good pickups in the last couple weeks. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. It's fantastic to hear. That should be able to boost you up a good bit. You got Ren on the Christmas banner, so you chose Rika. So you managed to get both of them. That is awesome. Got a text. Had to make sure I didn't need to deal with that real quick. Wow, you've had a couple of really good weeks in this game, it sounds like. Yeah, I did the free 10 pull on the Rika round. Let's go ahead and knock these out first, and then I'll do the 5s. Don't know if they're worth using since they're all A0. So, Matokami, yes. In fact, the current raid I'm doing with an A0 Matokami, absolutely destroying. Just did a couple solo rank 12s with Matokami in there at A0. Very strong at A0. Alina, for certain things, she'll be really good. If you need an on-element multi-breaker, and you can't use, like, you know, light's not on element, she can be really good there. And she also does apply an ailment, I think without being ascended. I might be wrong on that. But she does apply an ailment, so there has been, like, a score attack boss that almost specifically wanted Alina. So for certain things, she's useful, even at A0. Alright, good luck with your Wi-Fi. Talk to you again in a moment. Go ahead and finish out these 4 pulls, and then I might save the 5 pulls until I know they're back. We'll even go ahead and let the animation play out a little bit more here. Stall for time a little bit. Again, almost minimum odds on everything so far today, but we do have 2 guaranteed 5 stars coming up. Oh! We got a 5-star! Alright, this was our last 4-star key. Made it back just in time. Oh, it's another Yachio, which I already have fully ascended, but that might give me enough points to buy a guaranteed 5-star key. Pretty sure if it wasn't capped, I'd have Yachio at about Ascension 9 right now. Alright, well that's one thing. Let's go take a look at the trader and see... yeah. Oh, I'm actually decently over. Alright, so we get 3 guaranteed 5 stars here. Back to the Fate Waves. Yachio is very strong for certain things, especially if you can put her in a team with Thurno to get the team crit up, but he will not leave me alone. I have pulled her so many times. Like, I think she would be at, like, Ascension 9 right now. Thurno would probably be, like, Ascension 7. But I think those are the 2 that I've pulled the most. Now, I'm sorry. I would like to stop hogging all of the Yachis. Good morning, Dawn. I'm sorry! Like I said, I would like to stop hogging all the Yachans. She won't leave me alone. Alright. We've got Ascension 10 Yachio. Well, and now I'm halfway to another free 5 pull. So if my 2 free, my 2, pulls here are Yachio, then I'll get another pull. So, go ahead and see what happens. Come on, not Yachio. Watch it be Cyrano. If it's not Yachio, that is. Right. And we've got... Nice. We got not Yachio. I do already have her. I believe she is currently Ascension 0. I haven't put too much into her yet. I do have her Chrysalis set up. I think she's at 120 magic level right now. But right now she's Ascension 2 now. Cool. I'll have to see what that adds. She's in my team of wide attackers for just quickly. Yeah. She's just there just to help quickly wipe out everything right now. And we've also got... Nice! We have a new unit. So yeah, now, I guess I've also joined the Mail Club. I'm also curious, I'm assuming it'll be somewhere within the releases to the new story that they started doing, Crescent Memoria, that's what it's called. But I'm excited for when they release Kure? Her name's something like that. But the other one of Yachio's old teammates. Zakane? Yeah, she's cool. And not in the game yet. Try and just always remember to grab those rewards whenever I see them lit up. Okay, cool. So let's go look at... Yeah, I think when they came to Magia Record, like, both of Yachio's old friends got released around the same time, so I kind of like grouped them together. So since they're not both out yet and I haven't had her, I forgot that she got released. But let's do a quick... Go ahead and put her up to there. Like I've got a good amount of EXP points. I can probably level some 4 stars as well. We're not going to take her quite that far. We're going to take her up to 120. Although it looks like I've been stockpiling materials a bit more than I've thought as of late. I should really throw some more things at some more people. I've been needing grimoires and stuff though, although I say that and the month just reset. I got some new stuff lately. And Christmas was kind of generous. So, yes, your new character's showing back up here. So, Mel, let me go look at that live. But Madoka, absolutely yes, worth it to use at Ascension 0. She's very strong, just crazy attacker. When she released, completely different level, and I don't know outside of other limiteds if anything else really gets on her level. Especially right now for the current raid, I would recommend an A0 Madoka as your attacker. And I can show my team again, but right now I'm running the Pluvia Madoka, Madoka, Mabayu, Mami, and Cyrano. And that solo clears, of course, some of those are ascended, Chrysalis built out and whatnot. But that solo clears 12 on auto and can do significant damage up to 16. Because she's just enough sustain that, at least in my setup, it's surviving and she does crazy damage. So, do recommend her. And basically, if something is weak to light, and there's not some specific reason that you want some other specific attacker, Monokami is usually the way to go. And my basic team that I have for, I don't even care about, for like doing the hard mode stuff, the not chaos, not the highest, but nightmare, that's what they call it. For just clearing through that without even caring about elements, she's my attacker. Really strong at A0. Mel, I'll look at here in a moment. Alina, there will be specific things that are looking for her, basically. Like there was a, one of the score attack bosses. I keep forgetting the terms for things right now. It's been too long. It's been like 3 weeks since I've streamed this. One of the score attack fights a little while back wanted you to be able to hit wide with a breaker and apply ailments. So Alina was really good for that. And otherwise, you know, if she's what's on element for a breaker, she can be a good unit. So in those situations, even at A0, probably a good choice. Mabayu goes crazy. Not even sure what comes from her ascensions. I have her at Ascension 1. So, adds 1 turn to the duration of buff effects applied. You barely even care about that. What you care about with Mabayu is basically the battle skill. Cut and Splice is just really strong. So, yes, even at A0, she's really good. I have her at A1. You don't care about that. So, this doesn't get extended because it's like this could be effective if there's like counterattacks, something going on with that character, I guess. But otherwise, Cutaway goes away after their end of their turn. So extending that does nothing. So all it really does is extends this 1 turn, which is kind of nice, not a big deal. So, yeah. Ascension 0 on Mabayu. Really good. And then... yeah, Moimura, you know, congratulations. That's awesome. So Mel, let's look at here, because I just don't remember at all what she does. Because basically, when a new character comes out that isn't limited, comes out, unless I happen to draw it in like the free 10 pull, I just kind of put it out of my mind as whenever I wind up pulling that, that's when I'll care. Or if it winds up, I'd see a bunch of things like, oh, this broke the PvP meta, or this is absolutely insane. I'll be like, okay, what are you doing? Alright, well, first thing I see here is speed, so that sounds good. So, grants magic to self and also increases speed. Okay, so just her own speed by 30%. And grants an extra action. Okay. Alright, so she's just buffing herself with her battle skill. Her special is damage. Sounds like a decent amount for how leveled it is of damage, and increases damage taken by 6. That's kind of whatever, and grants magic to self. Alright, so all she's doing with her skill set essentially is trying to give magic to herself. So that's going to be her main mechanic, it sounds like. So if under 3 magic consumes 3 and does 100%. Okay. And if at 3, also consumes 3, makes sense. Same damage, but also increases break gauge depletion by 2 turns and grants 10 MP to self. and then it also increases her basic attack damage, basic attack break gauge depletion, and basic attack break bonus. Okay, so you're essentially trying to battle skill your way into a really strong basic attack. You won't want to basic attack unless you have 3 magic. So you get a little bit of extra action economy due to her wanting to basic attack sometimes, but it sounds like it's going to require a little bit of setup, because if you wind up on her forced to basic attack at the wrong time, you're going to reset, which will be annoying. I'll need to find something to test her on here in order to get a good feel for her. And then that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's okay. So her ascensions look pretty good. I'm also curious. I'm going to look over at, there is a Google Docs spreadsheet called Magia Exedra info that if you go on to the Exedra wiki, or like the Exedra Reddit, and go through the it's like search for like doc, spreadsheet, whatever, you can probably find it. But according to that, she is going to be ranked as... Where's the page for that? Because they do have a tier list. Okay, yeah, here we go. Then the tier list, she is not top tier. Where is she? Is this... I mean, I see more recent units up on here. Oh, there she is. Alright, so she's basically upper middle tier, essentially. Which is just above a bunch of 4 stars and on par with a bunch of characters that I don't use. At least very often, unless there's a specific reason to do so. But that's for raids. When it comes to other content, I don't see her on that same tier. Is she lower? I think she might be lower. Yeah, she's lower. She's pretty low for story progression tier list. But she is 2nd tier for a support, so I guess to answer the question of if she's good at Ascension 0, sounds like what she's particularly good for is going to be her support ability. So let's see what that is. Increases basic attack, break gauge depletion. Nice. On battle skill use, increases own speed by 25%. Beautiful. So yes, she's good at Ascension 0 because you want her as a support. Yeah. Let's go and get to what I fired up stream to do. For this raid, we're doing Mabiu, Cyrano, Summer Mommy, Pluvia, and Kaede. I ended up having to put regular Mommy as Summer Mommy support to make her faster than Pluvia for the barrier. Alright. So, you know, since it's on topic, we're gonna punt on the score attacks a little bit more still. We'll get to those, but go ahead and so here's my team. So let me just look at Assign real quick so we can see what ascensions those are. Go over that, but Yeah, we got Ascension 4 over here, which is very nice to have. She was not Ascension 4 when this boss was around previously, and I was still soloing the 12s. Ascension 0. Ascension 1, but doesn't matter that much, I don't believe. Ascension 5, which her Ascension 4 is really good. Her Ascension 2 is where life really begins with her. But Ascension 4 is also really good to have, and she is also, yeah, like I said, she's like Ascension 7, maybe 8. These are the supports that I have on them, and I do have them pretty decked out with Chrysalis. I have pretty much ideal for everything, except, at least according to the spreadsheet, which is basically the most concrete thing that we have for rankings and ratings on these things. They don't say to use her EX, but she's my sustain in this team. And she just barely survives at higher difficulties. So, I'm keeping her EX on there because I do believe it increases her healing. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, no, I'm thinking of this one, aren't I? Yes. I had those backwards. So you know what? I should probably actually change that. I do a lot of things set and forget. And a lot of this game, I've just been kind of like plowing through things. So a lot of the things that I've been using since the beginning of the game, I forget exactly and it's the same character. So I get confused sometimes. But yeah, these are my portraits. So all of that, but does solo. So Mommy, you do have Mommy as A2, so that's going to be really good. And let's double check what Cyrano's higher one does. Ascension 4. Oh, yes. That grants 1 additional SP, so that's the same as Mommy's. It's basically your basic buffer, A4. So those are going to be a somewhat meaningful difference, because that is going to help with action economy a bit. But with this team, I am able to solo the raid at 12. So I will demonstrate that one more time, and then so I used that at the beginning of the stream for just filler space, and then go over to the score attacks. But yeah, I do on up through rank 16 on this. I do on full auto, which does have Mabayu targeting Marokami because she has the highest attack. Which you'd think, getting through with the breaker by getting more actions on the breaker, and then also she gives the mana to everybody else, would be really good. And that does work here at the lower difficulties. But what I found with this team, the previous iteration of this boss at least, is at the higher difficulties, having the double attack from Marokami to give the group-wide healing was just enough sustain, and I do believe at least 2 of the buffers here have the group-wide damage reduction for how few enemies there are Chrysalis equipped, which is going to help with that as well. Which does help a lot for pushing into like 12 and above, or really like 9 and above, I feel like, for raids, is getting that team-wide defense for, if you use them for specific bosses that have adds, then you use the one that scales when you have more enemies. And then if you're usually going against single bosses like this, you want the one that scales with fewer enemies, but having those on the buffers adds to the survivability, which helps push you higher up in the raids. But she basically functions as my sustain for the team. And on the higher difficulties, she'll survive with like 200 to 600 health. So her healing is making enough of a difference as these solo sustain aside from when we go into break. We get a little bit of healing from Luvia as well. And again, that's on Ascension 0. So, he is just absolutely crazy. And you see she hits and she just takes out chunks of health. As we go, we just got an extra token there from Mami doing the ult. So that will be a difference if you don't have a 4 of Mami. We won't have as many of these, which will slow things down a bit. But with this setup, it's likely, and again, for the higher difficulties, Chrysalis setup's going to make a difference and all of that. But this team can probably get you a decent score going in raids. I mean, what I would say is, aside from there being like a couple of minutes of time spent, there's not much to be lost in just testing. And one thing that I'll do for that is I'll find somebody who's started a battle at the difficulty that I'm looking to test on that was barely able to do any damage. So I go into the support menu and I find somebody and I throw my new experimental team at their battle. And usually, you know, like worst case scenario, it didn't work out quite as well as I hoped, but I've done another chunk of damage to that boss because what I found is people don't tend to join raid battles that are just a tiny little sliver in there. So even if you're getting the health bar down a little bit more, that makes it more likely that other people will join. So you're still helping them out and maybe helping get that raid down to the end, even if your experimental team doesn't work out. But then otherwise you can see, oh hey, I almost or did fully solo clear this difficulty. And then you still got your own personal daily uses and everything. You don't have to worry about, will other people join if I wasn't able to do much? Or, you know, have to wait until you can't play anymore and then do your other ones, all of that stuff. So, yeah, hopping into the backup requests and find something where it's like, you know, I want to... Well, there's not many up right now, but... yeah, like this. And, I mean, they just started, but sometimes you'll see one where it's like there's 5 minutes off, they've already finished, and the bar hasn't really gone anywhere. So I like to hop into those. Like this. You know, somebody got it down just a tiny little sliver, somebody else has hopped in. It would be like, you know, I'm that person hopping in to just try out my build. See how far that goes down. And I do think I did stream. The VODs from this will have been automatically taken down by Twitch at this point, unfortunately, because they just only last for so long, and that increases as like your creator rank on Twitch increases and everything, but they only stick around for like 2 weeks right now, because I am like beginning creator, essentially, and the but I did do this on stream before when this boss was around, and I probably had A5 Cyrano, because I had A5 Cyrano like month 2 of this game, I think. She just kept showing up over and over again. But I did not have A4 Mami at that time, so I feel like it might be, I'd say probably like you could give rank 12 a go with that, see where it sits. Again, Chrysalis is going to make a bit of a difference, so if you're dying, then getting your buffers to have those defense Chrysalis on them could make enough of a difference. The team that I have set up is like very low sustain, so you might want to swap out, say, Thurano for another sustain in order to get there. I mean, also maybe just get some little comparison data, take that team and apply it to the difficulty that you've been used to, and see how it feels in comparison, and see if you feel like you want to try and push higher difficulties with that. Mabuyu is the only one faster than the boss when the battle first starts. Okay, I would need to go back and double check. I'm gonna go ahead and get this going here while I think, but then I might go back in my own VOD and look while this is going. So if you have an A2 Mami, that's going to be a big difference in speed. So I think that's where a lot of things are going to go for getting my team going before the boss, which I think happens. Which you said you swapped your Mami out for the other Mami. So that might be where a lot of speed went when Mami left, because her second ascension gives your whole team a lot of speed. Yeah, let's get this started. So for this one, this is the more recent one. This one just came out, I think, Wednesday. This is my team setup. So this is basically what I was just saying to maybe alternately do for the raid, is swap out a spot for an extra sustain. But I did get the score that you saw there this morning with this team on auto. So yeah, once you have Mami in your team, that's going to give you a lot more speed and boost you up there. She gives everyone action advance. Does she? Is that coming from your support? Because if you've got Moimura as a support, then that should give action advance on basic attack, and it's another character that I commonly use that can be equipped that gives action advance on the special attack, the battle skill. That's what it's called in this game. I jump between so many games, I'm just like, I always want to use generic terms for things. Pulling up the Exedra wiki to look at some things. But yeah, this was my second attempt at building a team for this particular fight. I'm not sure if it's totally optimal. Like I said, I had to throw this together this morning. Basically, I had tried one previously, which was basically I'd swapped out Kirika for Rika, and while I've gotten more Chrysalis for Rika at this point, probably not enough to make the difference, and that one was starting to fail around difficulty 45. Yes, so... Right. Pulling up a couple of things on the Exedra wiki. So that's exedra.wiki is where I go to reference units themselves. So Yes, so yeah, when Moimura is equipped to a buffer, it increases speed by 20%, which is, again, going to help get her up there as the first unit. But it also, on battle skill use, advances all allies' action order by 5%. So that's why that's happening. Because Hollow Woman, when she does her, which is Mabayu, when you use that battle skill, that's just applying a buff to one unit, and that's all it really does. But then the support from Moimura causes axe and advance on all of the other units. So that is really good. If you are not using Moimura in your team, she is really good to have as a support on Mabayu, which I should double check and see if that's what I've done here in this one. Which I do think I thought of that, and so I think I had it set up so that the one that gives action advance on battle skill use is on the Mabayu, and I think the one that's on basic attack might be on Thurano. Or that was a different team I was building recently, and I set it up something like that. Like I said, I need to double check. Yeah. Basically, same score, not a new record. But yeah, that cleared that. And again, score attacks have gotten mercifully shorter. So, that was that one. So I'll run through this other one here. Alright, now let's skip play. So yeah, and again, that shows you the overwhelming power of Madoka, even at A0. So this is the team that I used to clear this one, which is not from this last week, but from the previous week, but I did not get to stream last weekend. So for this one, pretty different setup, but got our sustain, our attacker, and then anytime that you can put these two in a team together, they're really good friends. And then we got our breaker and our speed. I'm starting to feel like team comp is kind of, you want a... you typically want a breaker. You don't always necessarily need a breaker, especially in raids, in the event that you're running a follow-up attack build. If you're using Ren, she can take the place of a breaker in certain raids, because it winds up doing enough damage that only having one break phase instead of two doesn't really matter. But, yeah, our crits are going to be continuously pumping up the mana here for Yachio. So that's why these two synergize really well together. But yeah, it's essentially you want a sustain, you want an attacker, you want a speed type buffer, which can be Mami, it can be Ui, and trying to think who Moimura, I would count under that. And then on top of having at least one speed type buffer, you want another type of buffer, another buffer, which can also be speed, which is just, because speed is just very strong. But in this team, I run one speed type buffer, and then one for crit, because her constantly giving mana to Cyrano through giving everybody crit chance also kind of increases speed here, and gets in a bunch of extra damage. Not too unlike the setup that I mentioned, where when you're working with Ren, not Christmas Ren, but classic Ren, I guess, she will take the place of Breaker for certain teams for me, because I'll use Ui as a speed buffer, which buffs follow-up attacks, and then I just dump, like I use portraits and stuff to give attack to Ren, and have her just constantly chipping in follow-up attacks, and that chips down the bar enough to get into a break phase, just because it's constantly happening over and over and over again, just that chip, 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 chip. And it does enough damage with each of those hits that it builds up enough that it actually winds up being more than I get out of a second break phase in raids. Ren is an interesting unit for where she fits into things, but becomes pretty useful in certain situations where you can't use what I tend to think of as meta builds, just due to the lockout of color or element options. So yeah, those are the score attacks, and go back and go over raid again, since there were questions about that after the last time. So I'll go ahead and I'll just auto battle a 12 again, and then I'll show off at a higher difficulty as well. But just to go back through this for Ray, to see how mine starts out. So we'll go ahead and play. So yeah, with mine, starting out prior to the boss, we have she is going to be first, and then we do have Mami and Cyrano up here beforehand, and then I do have it set up so that she is improving the action advance of everybody at the beginning as well. Yeah, a lot of the team speed does come from Mami herself increasing the speed of everybody else, but I do think that these two, which were the other ones before the boss, I think I do have speed portraits on them. So that's probably the other difference. As well as, I believe I have Speed Chrysalis on both of them, so that might be another place where additional speed is coming from. I don't think anything about Ascension 4 or 5 will increase their speed any, so it's probably either the portraits or the chrysalis that I have equipped that would push them ahead of the boss if that's not happening for you. And if you do want to reference anything about how my team is working on this later as you are workshopping stuff on your end, the VOD will be up a few minutes after I stop streaming. So that'll be there for the next 2 weeks to be easily referenced. And on top of that, the VOD will also be up on my YouTube, which I'm currently cross-streaming to. And that, I believe, goes up automatically. I don't even have to do anything, but I am cross-streaming to YouTube now. My name on YouTube is Protean Reverie. It's the same as it is over on Twitch. Currently, I'm only really seeing the chat from Twitch. I need to get some more stuff set up with YouTube. I do plan to release edited content on that YouTube eventually as well. It'll probably be a variety of things. That's honestly part of my name, the Protean Reverie. Protean is capable of change. It's kind of thinking like mercurial in nature, and then Reverie is a daydream, so kind of like the concept of like an ever-shifting daydream is the name that I went with for streaming and online persona, because I get interested in things, I go various different directions, so, but I do plan to release edited content, not just for like this etc stuff that I'm doing, and release videos of like actual guides going through how I'm doing things for different fights, but also other Madoka Magica related content. Discussions, possibly including some of my IRL friends, discussions on things such as thoughts on different mangas from the Madoka universe, our thoughts, opinions, and some of the major lore implications of a lot of the things from a lot of the side content. Stuff that will be in Exedra eventually, so may also try and do the thing where it's like, oh, Kazumi is going to be coming out to Exedra. It's time to release the video where I'm talking about Kazumi. But yeah, as well as, other things, might do, I don't know, tier lists of the outfits of the girls from the series. Myself and my BFF just absolutely love this series, so we've consumed a lot of it, and have a lot of lore information and some thoughts on things. And we've seen Rebellion several times in multiple translations, and that's one of those, that and a lot of different Madoka things. They're like, you consume it once and it's like, okay, well now I'm prepared to actually consume this piece of media. But there are some differences in translations and whatnot, where it's like, does that specific wording mean something critical to things that are coming up? And then also, I want to do things that are just like, here's random crazy lore tidbits that I know that you're not going to typically find out. A lot of them did come from Magia Record, but not just the main story of Magia Record that's been re-implemented here, or as the anime, or as the stage play, or as the manga, but the side stories, which a lot of stuff has been archived in various ways, but there's a lot of interesting lore tidbits out there that have not come through to Exedra or the anime or anything that just, I feel like more people should know. And some of that, I will say, feels pretty confirmed as being relevant, or at least accurate to the core series lore. So when I say core series lore, I'm talking about just Madoka Magica. So the original anime series / the first two movies, they're the same thing. There are some tidbits that, if you've only seen the movie versions, you may have missed, but they're tidbits here and there. But things, again, where it's just like, oh, this was worded this way. That could have major implications from that specific wording type of thing. Or, this portrays this in a slightly different light because of how, this additional scene type of thing. That was just cut for time in the movies. But, yeah, that, Rebellion, and then the upcoming Walpurgisnacht, because that's kind of the core canon thing. And then I consider Magia Record and Exedra to be kind of a bubble around that if it's canon to the core, it's canon to Magia Record, but Magia Record is not necessarily canon to the core, and that's the case for all of the other media as well. So Scene Zero, I consider that same kind of area, and then all of the spin-off mangas, Oriko, Kazumi, all of that stuff, they also kind of exist in their own universe where, like, just due to the nature of things, not all of these things can coexist. Like, both Scene Zero and, like, Oriko, I think technically can't both happen. Either of them could theoretically happen within Core, but they can't both happen, so they can't both be canon together and whatnot. Anyhow, yep, about that enough. Need some more water. But yeah, there's lots of really interesting tidbits, and there's a lot of interesting stuff from Cosme as well, which I was just thinking the other day. There was another thing I saw on Reddit where somebody asked a question. I was like, I wonder if anybody's answered this yet, but that happens in Cosme, and they're like, you know, could this theoretically happen within the rules of the universe and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, yeah, it happens in Cosme. And it's just like, how many times I see things posted online that are questions like, could this happen within the role, like the rules and the lore of the Monogatari? Yeah, it happens in Cosme. So many things, so many crazy things happen in Cosme. And so many crazy tidbits of lore exist in Magia Record, which is no longer available. For example, one of the side stories related to the character Arc, or Dark, or Joan of Arc. He goes by many names in this series. One of those, it's set back in time in England, and Kyubey introduces himself as Cube. And there's time travel shenanigans going on. And one of the characters is like, Cube, we've always known you as Kyubey. And Cube responds with, oh yeah, you guys, you know, must be out from, you know, that other part of the world. That's how they pronounce my name there. My name is actually Cube. And I was like, what? That is a crazy, crazy lore drop in a random event side story of questionable canon. That's just like that. Really? Okay. Kyubey's name is actually Cube. Okay. Sure. But yeah, while I was yapping about that, that was a rank 16 that I did 50% of on auto battle. And if you were paying close attention through my yapping, there was, like just before break, it was risky. My health was really low. So Madoka on Ascension 0 is just enough sustain that it makes that significant difference. Otherwise, I would need to take up an extra slot with the sustain, or, you know, whatever unit I had in there without the healing that she has on top of just hitting really, really hard, like on par with Yachio hard. Like I have an A5 Yachio and A0 Madoka. I'm picking the A0 Madoka every single time that she is on element. If blue and or if water and light are both available to me, I'm picking the A0 Madoka over the Ascension 5 maxed out on special attack, the ultimates. Used all the Rumblers on her. Still prefer Madoka over Yachio, who Yachio is also top tier for attacker. So A0 Madoka, kind of ridiculous. Let's see here. I've been streaming for an hour and a half here. So I could go over the score attacks again. I've got one more raid. I could run through some other difficulty of raids, or swap out some things if anyone's interested, or I might do a couple of 4-star battles. I think I've got a couple of those ready to go, and I've leveled up a few more 4-stars. And I've got some more stuff in the bank to potentially level up some more, so your challenges. Yeah, if anybody's watching and you have questions on any of the score attack, raids, any of that stuff, be happy to look at that stuff, run through that. Otherwise, I will go ahead and clear the Dog Witch on Nightmare with no 5 stars. So, let's go here. 4-star team. Not set up on these elements at all right now, so we wanted fire and dark. Let's set up. Reset. We do not want 5 stars. We want dark. We want flame. Okay. So first of all, what do we have for a sustain? Okay. So there's our sustain. We have our one option for that. And then breaker. Pick our 1 4-star option for that. And then... yeah, well, we definitely need an attacker, so let's grab our 1 option for a 4-star attacker. And then look at buffers and debuffers to round out the team. Dog Witch is honestly always been so easy. I don't know the mechanics, but I do know that she's strong, and I do know that she's strong. So we're just gonna go with that for now. But yeah, I honestly do not know what the Dog Witch's mechanics are. I have always just kind of walked through it with my basic team. Alright, so let's set up portraits and then I'll go and do leveling and stuff. So she's going to be health-based as a healer. Actually, do we want HP? It's probably better to put... well, no, I don't know. Doesn't really matter that much. I'll put HP recovery on her. Health would be also a good option. You are my breaker. You work kind of like... she works kind of like the other single target breakers of Rena and Toka. Took me a moment to think of their names. So I'm going to put mana on her. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, I want attack there, and then speed for her, and I forget what exactly she does. I'm gonna throw speed on her for now. And then get these set up. Alright, so let's go ahead and level her up. Okay, yeah, we still got plenty. Go ahead and do that. Just send it. And magic level. Not quite that far. But I'm comfortable with that. Going to want that as the sustain, I'm sure. And beautiful. I remembered it was strong and had something to do with speed. I forgot it was that strong. She's a really good support for healers. Is she still the best option? Huh. Go ahead and put her on there. We'll just unlock her, but we want her for that ability. That is strong. Yeah, we'll go ahead and leave Dark Art Dominion on her. Double check what she does. Okay, she increases speed. There we go, that's why she's good. And 5 magic. Okay, that's kind of whatever, honestly. But oh yes, let's get 4 stars can go pretty far without needing a grimoire. I'm gonna go ahead and get them up to the point of needing a grimoire for all of these. And I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with getting all the characters up to 119. Probably overkill. We're probably going to destroy this boss. But we'll go ahead and get magic levels up to 120. And then we will go ahead and start the battle. I was working on leveling up all of my 4 stars to get them all ready for something like this. And then I started running out of resources again, so eventually these will all just be done, and that'll be nice. Just keep on spending. She's already there. I was actually using her for a couple of specific nightmare bosses prior to getting I think prior to getting Moimura and Mami and Mabayu, like pretty early on. But yeah. Oh yeah, so she's on basic attack, increase action order. And then she's on special attack, increase it, so we're gonna set up the other way. I'm gonna put her on that one. And then she's probably gonna be oh, right. Can't. She's a debuffer. Still. Yeah, that works. Yeah, and that's on battle skill use. Alright, so make sure they're all level 6. They're all level 6. Yes. So I'm about to do the Dog Witch, which is looking for dark and fire. So, yep, getting ready to do the no 5-star Dog Witch with basically the only team sorted for just flame and dark, not 5-star. Looked for a sustain, one option. Looked for a breaker, one option. Looked for an attacker, one option. Really hope they add some more 4 stars at some point. And then 2 of the 4 options for supports, buffers, debuffers. Yeah, I suspect just with the levels I have, this isn't going to be too bad. Dog Witch is a fairly early witch. I feel like all of the witches prior to Mermaid. Mermaid is the first wall in this game, in my opinion. Okay, now I've got to double check what her thing was. I've already forgotten what. So, a single allies, NP, and attack. Okay. So, we are going to put that on the breaker. Go. And because I have Moimura as a support, that increased the action order of everybody. And then this character, the reason I liked her so much, she just keeps pushing enemies down the action order. So when I didn't have any speed support 5 stars, this was helping me clear some bosses because, like, get down there, give me some more time before you attack. And then also, yeah, look, the healer's basic attack can take that much break barrier off. So we're a little over leveled for this. But I don't think Her battle skill is going to give me anything. Yeah, it's just healing. So there's no reason for me to battle skill here. Basic attack. Yeah, now let's throw this at there. And she, before I had any 5-star single attack breakers, I saw this character doing these things and I was like, that is insane. Birdcage and Stagecraft, yes. Those two are ones that are kind of tricky. Which I believe both of those do come after the mermaid. But I remember the like day 1, day 2 of this game coming out. I was pushing through everything, and I got to the mermaid witch, and I was just like, oh no. And then after that, I think the birdcage was the next one that I got like really stuck on and took me a little while. And then as well, the Stagecraft was a little while. Stagecraft, essentially, its whole gimmick is you have to get through that break barrier. The break barrier, like, it cannot take damage until you're through the break barrier. So, honestly, double breaker, probably a good idea. Because once you're through that break, it has like no defense, and then the multiplier can also scale really high, so being able to hit it more with breaker is going to bring that number up a lot more. So basically just fold as soon as it's in break. So it's survive until break it as fast as you can, which is going to help with survivability. Go and just basic attack that one, just to put it in break. Launch these. Why not? Get that number up prior to this unit attacking. Yeah, the spot that I got, the Needle Witch as well is another spot that like gets really you can get really stuck. At least I did. And that basically I had to just put off until I had the right units for it, which was like Mommy and Moemer and everything. Oh. Hi, puppy. Hi. One moment. No. Oh. New Living situation has a couple of puppies and a couple of people as well. So they came down to bring out the puppy, and he always comes to get me. So yes, puppy will be on stream from time to time now. As well as a cat that will occasionally wander around that door there. Occasionally come over for pets. Yeah, back to this. So, healer's just going to basic attack. We're poisoned, but whatever. And our breaker's done her job at this point, so just basic attack and back to our attacker, battle skill. Let's see. I would like to, yes, speed. Where's it go? Yeah. Forgot to unmute. Yeah, that character really good when you're in the break phase. You can delay the enemy some more, get some more attacks into the break section. Not that it's looking too much like it's going to make much of a difference here on this time. So this is probably going to be a 2-break battle. Just a little bit of extra time, but pretty confident we got this. We haven't taken any damage, so... wait. I keep thinking she's the healer, Rika. Because I've been used to using her now. She's a buffer. He's... Actually might have made a difference if I'd used that before the break phase ended. Probably not enough, though. Wasn't going to do enough damage in time. Yeah, as long as I can. I've got plenty of SP. I'm just going to keep pushing that one down with her. Go back to basic attacks here. Back to putting it on the breaker. Speed that process up. This is the healer, so I don't care about that right now. Let's push that back behind the breaker again. And do a ton of break damage. Always nice with the higher end stuff that I'm doing all the time, how much you just have to like chip down the break bar little bit by little bit. Nice going back and doing these things and just seeing the massive chunk of bar go away. Let's go ahead and put that on there again. Yeah, this will be easy when in the just 2 break phases. Yeah, there's not too much to do for team building in the world of not doing any 5-stars. I'm going to go ahead and do this just to give her the mana. Because then I'll be able to get a good break bonus here before the attacker comes up. And get this up an extra 20%. Go ahead and send that, because that'll get that up a little bit more as well. So yeah, can't have too much diversity in the teams in 4-star just because there's so little on element. Oh, we're out of SP for that. Unfortunate, but fine. And we don't need any SP for a couple of turns, so it's fine to push that down some more. And didn't even need to get back to the attacker. That finished it off. I have been learning Japanese, so occasionally they'll shout something that I at least partially understand, and it's getting weird. Because like I've been playing games like this for so long, not knowing aside from like a couple of key like anime phrases. But now I'll be like going through story stuff in this game, and I'll understand like the occasional entire sentence. It'll be them talking about how tasty a cake is, but I understand it. That's just like a flashbang, just like, whoa, I'm not used to understanding this. But yeah, so that's why I looked caught off guard there at the end for a moment, because I half understood what she was saying. So we're going to go ahead and do the next one, the Artist Witch. Hopefully we'll be getting into that one faster. Yeah, we've already... Well, we've leveled up one of our darks at least. Yeah, let's level up these, and then that might be the last thing I do. I'm going to wrap up at around the 2-hour mark here, I think. 15 minutes. This probably won't actually take that long. So might get to another 4-star battle here soon. Or in this play session. Stream. We'll go with stream. There are no sustains. There are no non-5-star sustains in this color pair. So that's great. Their breaker. Yes. Oh, yes.
Kumanosuke's all set too.
And she is pretty good. I was using her a lot at the beginning of the game, so she's already fairly leveled. Our attacker, there was still only the one option. No. Masara. Which one of these I actually feel is better? I feel like they're kind of on par in my experience. We'll go ahead and swap to her. And then, as far as buffer debuffers, we've only got one. So yeah, let's see if we can even fill out the rest of the team. Yeah, just in these colors, you can't even make a full team out of 4 stars. So I think our solution is we're going to stick on that 4-star defender, and over here, let's add... I mean, she's good, she's good. Okay. I mean, these 3 all really good choices. She's very popular, very good. You know, I'll go ahead and use her. Because I, like, never do. Let's see. They're all 118 already. Go ahead and get them up to magic level 120. And defense. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the best choice there. Oh yeah, right. See her on that. Yep. So she is a debuffer. More speed here, which is the main thing that I'm interested in, so I'm probably going to go with that one. Yeah, that's conditional. So yeah, I think probably just going to go ahead and do that. And over here, go ahead and do that for the action advance on battle skill use, as well as the speed. Okay. So you, defense, you, speed, by 20. You attack, you're going to be speed. You can be the lesser speed, because there's not a third 20% speed yet, I don't think. There is, I missed it. I think I'm going to go with MP Covery, which is the highest you can get on that is 15. Again, unless I've missed something. It's been a busy couple of weeks for me. So double check. Oh yes, let's get... I can't believe I hadn't leveled her ult yet. That's crazy. Yeah, 120. Alright, let's get her up to 120.
Kawaii things are everywhere.
And then we'll see how this one does, because it should be a little harder with having a couple of units off element, just because there's no other option. There are only 4 stars in this 2-color pair. Alright, that's 6. Okay, there. It's nice to have 120 as the new baseline. The old cap is the new baseline. Feels like I'm getting somewhere in this game. Nice built account. Alright. Skills, you're at 4. Let's get that up to 6. You're at 6, you're at 6, 10. Alright. Cool. We are going to go ahead and attempt this team here. Hopefully the off element doesn't matter too much. I know it doesn't tend to with Kirika, but this isn't quite Kirika. What do we want first? We don't really need anything but our not our breaker, our breaker to be up here quickly. So let's go ahead and start with that. We will have our defender going before the enemy's turn, which is all we care about that. And otherwise, we're just kind of getting stuff going. Now we get back to our breaker soon at least. Well, actually, we're just gonna... No point in pulling her up. So, we're gonna basic attack here. Basic attack with the attacker when we're not in break phase. And get slapped a little. Alright, well, it's not doing any meaningful damage as of yet. Just gonna remind myself what she does with her battle skill. Yeah, it's just applies curse, nothing else special there. Yes, that's it. She was important for a particular mechanic. She's only here now because I was so limited for options in the color pairing. Honestly, going off element, picking a different buffer probably would be a better choice. All in all, but I think again, because we're just about to hit character that would bring up anyway, we're gonna let that happen. Just get our SP from the basic attack from that one. Her do her thing, and then have a basic attack here, and once again, our sustain has come in prior to the enemy attacking. This is almost like the most playing this game I've done in a while. What does that look like? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and bring our sustain back up here.
差をつけられたかな。行くぞ行くぞ。私が頑張らな
Because we do have some damage in here, and we don't have any heals throughout the entire team to help top things off if things start to go bad. So we'll keep that looking good. And that also, because of the Moimura equipped, managed to get our breaker up ahead of the boss. So, beautiful.
余裕余裕。暴れ足りないね。
The curse is still on there, so I'm gonna go ahead and basic attack.
この調子この調子。
She will be coming up again, so might as well use her ult, which will consume the ongoing attack thing to do stuff. And then we've got another chance to pull up the sustain prior to the boss activating. But we've already got that, so we're going to go ahead and just keep generating SP. We're going to basic attack. And then use her down here to pull up the sustain prior to that. And keep using... Let's keep chipping through that. And this does seem to be working decently. I'm gonna go ahead and have her target that one.
まだ手はある。暴れ足りないね。
You also go ahead and just target that one.
この調子この調子。
You are going to just make sure that nothing's yet. I need you up here.
気合い入れるよ。頑張ることに元気は有り余ってるよ。私が頑張らなくちゃ。Kumanosuke's fired up.
Yeah, I did say this is like kind of the most I've been actually playing this game in a while. That's why I don't
油断しない。
know this character too much and I'm taking time to think. Because I always put this character kind of to the side, like if I need her for specific things, I can grab her, but she's effort. She requires thinking, she doesn't auto-battle all that well. And that's how I play this game. So,
繰り返しじゃつまらないでしょ。Now's my chance. Go,
I just don't really have the built-in mental calculations of what to do with this character quite yet.
暴れ足りないね。
Yeah, you should go ahead and get your ailment on that boss again.
策は必要ないかな。
We need to once again... Oh no, we messed up the math, and now we cannot bring our sustain up prior to the boss going off. I don't love that. I do not love that. We're even missing shield here. These are basically gone. MP down, that's fine. Damage taken. Okay.
しない方がいいぞ。
Did not hit us. That worked out conveniently. You go ahead, basic attack over here.
まだ手はあるわ。策は必要ないかな。
We... Okay, we got two. We're gonna go up there. Alright, so doing my calculations, so we'll go down, down on SP, 'cause if we do battle skill on Breaker to bring her up. And then we'll need to use her, and then the tank, so yeah, it won't quite work out. I would need one more SP. I definitely want to have the defender go off. Won't work if I do both of the things. But I think I'm just going to basic attack.
行くぞ行くぞ。私が頑張らなくちゃ。
Alright, we're once again shielded. It's beautiful, we love to see it. Basic attack that guy.
Now's my chance.
Okay. So he can remove buffs, so he can just straight up remove shields, unless it's an Ascended Kirika, which can only be removed through it being depleted or turns expiring. Well, anyhow, just keep working on breaking it. And yeah, we've lost our shields. We've got 2 SP, so we're bringing our defender back up.
差をつけられたかな。私が頑張らなくちゃ。私についてきて。
And that pushed Masara up there, so I don't know, just basic attack that guy. Hit. Still good. Spawn an additional ad. Definitely want to finish those off soon. Cool, that one's down. I'm gonna go ahead and save her ult until she's about to go again, because it will eat that ailment. Which doesn't look like it'll actually matter based off of where she is in priority, but oh yeah, let's do that for sure. And that doesn't make sense. And I think I just basic attack this one. We need SP more than we needed this character that was going to activate next to come up anyway, and we still had enough shield to deal with that guy. Alright, Masara, go stab that guy. You. Let's go ahead and yeah, that'll work out fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and send these. That. I do need my tank to activate next, so I'm gonna go ahead and not get her buff on there. Not that important. You know what? This is gonna do a little damage to the barrier anyway. I'll go ahead and just do this. Okay. I've not brought back the other ad yet. This one has absolutely been a bit more of a fight than I was expecting coming into this. Alright, our only option here is to basic attack, so we basic attack. We will be able to get an SP back from Masara after this. So let's... No, I think with what's coming up, I need the SP more. Masara, take that guy out. Thank you. Just keep on pounding away at that break bar. Okay, I do not have enough SP to bring her back up, have her go again, and then still have enough for the defender to go. And I do... Do I need the defender to go right now? And I think no, actually. So we're going to go ahead and risk it and bring our breaker up here. This fight has been over 10 minutes. Just got home. Nice. The fight has been going slow. It's working, but we have not made it into break phase yet. It's just taking quite some time. The options on element were limited, so we had to go off element for 2 of them. And we've been keeping the ads pretty well controlled. We've got our pick a character to use character in play here. We did just take our first non-shield damage. That was basically a choice that I made to bring in my breaker a little bit more, because I think it'll work out in the end. But for now, you're just going to basic attack, so I want SP. You are going to Yes, that's a workout. So we bring up the defender, we use your ultimate. That gives us an SP back. Now we can get our shields up before we'll be attacked again.
Now's my chance.
And inch ever closer to getting that break to happen. There we go. And to click that guy several times to just get it to select over. Right. We are. Use a basic attack there. Go ahead and just do that. That causes things to activate from breaking that guy, so that's fantastic. Now we're gonna focus that guy. We're going to battle skill, and just a heads up. Once this fight is over, I am going to be going ahead and ending stream. But yeah, we're getting there. It's just kind of dragging on a little. Go ahead and you just stab that guy. You stab that guy.
Now's my chance. Go, Kumanosuke.
Alright. This should get us into break. There's no ads. Its turn was already down a little bit, so we got a good amount of time. Now we just start truly wailing on this guy. Do we want to bring anything up right now? I'm going to... Yeah. The attacker was down. There was only a couple activations away, but it was down at 30. Bringing it up by 30 is a good amount of action advance. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll battle skill at it. Let's go ahead and get this done out of the way. And your battle skill doesn't matter until they're activated. So you're just gonna poke. What is its maximum break? There is a way to check that, isn't there? Okay. Apparently can't just check maximum break in fight. Basic attack. There we go. If it was a long way away, I would like to do the battle skill because she applies like 45% twice when you do battle skill. But we are only 5% away from the maximum break, so basic attack there. And now I can just start applying her to my attacker and just keep attacking, and this will all be over in a minute. This was kind of similar to the Valpurgis Noct fight, where it's just, you gotta survive until you can break through its break barrier, and then it just dies. Yeah. The good old Val. Every time I go back to fight him, I'm just like, hey, what's up, Val? Valpurgis Noct. That one goes up to like 900% break bonus. Yeah, there we go. We knocked out a couple of the no 5-star challenges. So we've got a few more in the bank for a future stream. I think next Exedra specific stream will probably be the Sunday following the next release of a score attack. So probably 2 weeks, could be 1 week, could be 3 weeks. They now sees things like 2 days in advance and don't have a reliable schedule. So I will be back when I'm back, which should be around 10 a.m. Mountain Time, Sunday, following the next score attack. And otherwise, I'm planning to do a bunch of other things on stream here and there, but I don't have any schedule. I'm still working on a bunch of stuff with moving and all that. So I'll be around or back when things are happening again, and etc. But until then, sparkle and shine, have a wonderful time, and I will see you later. Peace!